I would say take it away, Nicole.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining our Omada webinar this morning. I am Nicole LaChapelle-Strumsky with the Minnesota Healthcare Consortium. We are the group of 7 different service co-ops around the state joined together to bring you the best rates and tools and resources possible. And I work in the southeast portion of the state, Southeast Service Cooperative. And this morning I am delighted to introduce Jamie. She is Omada health coach. She lives in Ohio with her husband, 3-year-old son, and their dog. She has a background in health coaching and dietetics. She's passionate about cultivating a positive and encouraging environment to support people in their health journey. And when she's not coaching, she enjoys hiking, being out in nature, and spending time with her friends and family. And if possible, I'd love to get a photo of all of us with our cameras on for our LinkedIn page. I don't know, Jamie, if you could quick stop sharing and then start again. And if you wouldn't all mind popping on your cameras and giving a smile, and Hannah from South Central will take our picture quick.
I love how everybody's just hopping on right now. All right, hang on.
All right, once.
My,
Oh, there we go. Stop.
oh, there we go. I was like, my screen is showing this small. All right, so there's a couple pages, so bear with me. So, I mean, everybody's got great smiles. So I'm just going to count of 3, and then I'll do the second page. So thanks so much, everybody, for participating in this. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, there's 1. You guys are so awesome. And then 1 more. I love the amazing crowd that we have on here. This is fantastic. All right, so I'm on the second page. So on a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. I truly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Jamie, for going with the flow. Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. I'll start sharing again. Okay. Oops. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Not your presentation yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Oh no, what's going on?
I can see your presentation. Zoom has a new thing where at the top of your meeting screen, you have to click on Jamie Morris Utter's screen to see it.
Oh.
I don't know if they just.
Oh wait, I think I see it in the corner. Or wait, no.
Yeah, like, well, so you're sharing your screen. I can see it, but it took me a while. There's 2 tabs at the top now. One says meeting and one says Jamie's screen.
I just see your background though, Jamie, not the PowerPoint yet.
Oh, gotcha. So
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, right. That's true. I see your background too. Nice trees.
Oh, okay. I wish that was my backyard.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I'm using 2 monitors. Please bear with me. I will just get that over. So sorry.
Or feel free to stop screen sharing and just restart too, Jamie, if that's easier. There
Okay.
you go.
Yay, awesome. Okay, let me get to. Oops. Okay. Does that look good?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm so sorry. I'm not that tech savvy. But yes, thank you again for the warm introduction. My name is Jamie, and I am so excited to be here with all of you today. And I think the topic of sleep comes at the perfect time right now. We just had daylight savings a few days ago. And if you're like me, you might still be struggling getting back into your routine, especially if you have pets or small kids. That hour can really make a difference. So it's important to remember to prioritize sleep, especially as we enter spring. And hopefully that means warm weather on the horizon for us. So let's dive right in. So as we begin today, I've got a couple questions for you to consider, and feel free to share your responses in the chat, or you can just reflect on them yourself. So the first question is, how many hours of sleep do you personally think you need in order to function your best each night? And then the second question is, how many hours of sleep do you actually get most nights, if you had to take a guess? Getting lots of great answers. Thank you for sharing in the chat. I appreciate you being involved. This is awesome. Now, as you all reflect on your responses, think to yourself, do these two numbers match up for you? Now, of course, in a perfect world, it would be amazing if they did. But if you're like most adults, chances are they might not. And according to the latest national data from the CDC, on average, a little over 1 in 3 Americans are chronically lacking sleep. So this is definitely an area that majority of us probably need to work on or just be a little bit more mindful of. All right, we have a quiz about the magic range. So if you were to guess, what range listed here would you say is ideal for both the brain and body to function properly for most adults? So we have between 6 to 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours, and 8 to 9 hours. And again, feel free to write your responses in the chat. So the correct answer is 7 to 8 hours. So yes, some of you right on top of it. Good job. So for most adults, getting an average of 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night can be game-changing, both physically and mentally. So if that is what you were thinking, again, well done. And we're going to talk more about, different strategies or ways to help get that 7 to 8 hours of sleep per day. And also just some tips for on the days when you aren't able to get that much sleep, just some ideas you can do to help re-energize your body and your brain. So it is common for healthy eating and physical activity to get a lot of attention for the impact of our overall health. But sleep is also right up there too and can be a really big overlooked factor. In fact, here are just some ways that we benefit physically from getting adequate sleep. Our hunger and fullness throughout our waking hours are also influenced by the amount of rest that we get. So similarly, our immune system and ability to fight off infection is also influenced by our sleep. So that's why whenever you're sick, doctors always tell you to get lots of rest because that's the best way to fight off infection or, any sicknesses too. Now, mentally, it helps us in a lot of ways as well, just like the ones that are listed here, with things like our attention span, creativity, and coping with change. I know when I don't get a good night's sleep, I have major brain fog, and it seems like I just can't fully focus. So it does really impact our mental focus. And again, any of you with children may notice some of these areas affected when your kids might sleep poorly or if they're sick. And adults, again, are the exact same way. We can be impacted just as equally by not getting a good night's sleep. On the other hand, sleeping fewer than 7 hours a night consistently for even a couple of days will impair our overall functioning. So not getting enough sleep for weeks, months, or even years does take a toll and can take a pretty serious toll. In fact, adults who regularly get less than 7 hours of sleep are more likely to report having one or more of these conditions that are listed here. And as you can see, it's pretty important. Now, again, I understand life circumstances pop up For example, kids, and, or if you're potty training a puppy, things like that can definitely impact our sleep. So if that ends up being the case for you, hopefully it's just a temporary situation, but it's important to find small moments throughout the day to help you recharge. Whether it's a quick power nap or finding just like relaxing habits or hobbies to lean on just to kind of give you that mental break. Okay. I'd love to take just a little poll before we dive into more specifics. So, what are some things that you've found tend to help you get a better night's rest? So, for some examples, sticking to a bedtime routine that you do during the day. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts if you wouldn't mind sharing those in the chat, or if anybody wants to come off mute, feel free. Oh yeah, reading is fantastic. The sauna. A fan, yes. Temperature of the room. Exercise, essential oils, yes. Routine, sunlight, calming noise. Wow, these are all fantastic. Reading, yes. Oh, fish. Yes, fish are so relaxing, like fish tanks. Relaxing music, herbal tea, deep breathing. Yeah, a quiet house to yourself. I don't get that too often either, but it is nice when you do get the chance to have that peace and quiet. Non-snoring spouses, yeah, that can definitely hinder our sleep. I've been there. These are great. Thank you all so much for sharing. Yeah, those are all very relatable. And the more consistent we are with establishing relaxing techniques before bed or just establishing healthy habits throughout the day, the better our sleep will be. Now, again, situations like snoring spouses, loud noises outside, if your neighbor wants to mow the grass at 6 in the morning, things like that. I get it. That can impact sleep. And unfortunately, those factors out of our control happen. So the best thing is to just try to find those moments throughout the day to kind of recharge your brain or even your body if you want to take a quick nap. Earplugs. Okay. Now, one strategy you may already be working on is getting regular exercise. So, a National Sleep Foundation poll of around 1,000 people found that those who engage in any level of activity during the day reported sleeping better than those who didn't exercise at all. And I know some of you mentioned that in the chat, so I think that's fantastic. And further research shows that exercise does help people fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer as well. So hopefully with, again, these warmer temperatures coming up, even if it's just getting outside and taking a quick walk somewhere safe for 10 minutes, things like that can really make a difference. So I want to share some considerations for establishing a routine at bedtime. So some ideas for improving the quality of your sleep, and I'll also mention just a few energy boosting strategies for those days when you really are dragging on energy, which happen to us all. Okay, so the first one is establishing a routine. So similar to how it's not ideal to slam on our brakes of a car that's operating at full speed, having just a simple ritual at the end of the day can help you get in the right mindset for sleep. And it doesn't have to be anything elaborate or expensive or take a lot of time, but it should leave you feeling calm and relaxed. So, some of you mentioned things like reading, meditation, deep breathing, drinking herbal tea, things like that are wonderful. Even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes, that can really make a difference in just helping you to unplug and relax your mind before bed. So a big one is, yes, turning off TV and gadgets, dimming the lights, and there are a few other things that can help wind down at the end of your day. So for some of our members, again, reading books, which you guys mentioned, meditation. Another one is some gentle stretching. There's a lot of websites that have good stretches to do before bed that are fantastic. And especially if you deal with, neck or back or shoulder pain, it's nice to feel like you have a good stretch before going to sleep. So if you're not already in the habit of taking like a warmer shower or bath at bedtime, you might want to give this idea a try. It can help relax you and lead to a drop in body temperature that promotes sleep, which I thought that was interesting. I always thought it would have increased my body temperature, but apparently it does the opposite. So yeah, if that's something you'd be interested in, give it a try and see if it works for you. And some people will put Epsom salts into their bath, and that really helps them, soothe their muscles and their mind as well. Another one is peaceful imagery. This one is really helpful. It can just help you let go of stress and relax. And if you are up for trying this one, after lying down in bed, pick a location that you associate with just total relaxation and imagine it in full detail. So for me, this would be the beach on a summer morning, especially as the spring starts to emerge. The thought of just warm temperatures is very calming. So for you, maybe it's a favorite spot in the woods and imagining the sound of the birds and nature, or it could be a bookstore and just the quiet peace that that can bring, or maybe the sound and the environment of a beautiful lake. There's so many things that you can imagine. And once you think of it, try to picture yourself there with as much detail as you can. And when you do that, try to think about the sounds, the sights, the potential smells, and the feel of that scenery. And I know there are websites like YouTube and things like that that have relaxing music. So if you need to, just plug in, beach waves or the woods, and that can help kind of put you into that mindset as well. And then another one is calming music. So winding down with relaxing music before bed is associated with reduced stress and just overall better sleep. So aside from its calming effects, music may help distract you from any negative thoughts and drown out any outside noise that would otherwise keep you awake. All right, next we're just going to talk about some simple ways to improve the quality of your sleep that you are getting. So when it comes to sleep quality, your environment is key, which I know some of you already mentioned, keeping a fan in your room, a cool temperature. Those are great for creating that cozy environment. So again, we like to suggest our members to think about creating their own little cozy cave. So we say that because when you think about like bears, for example, they tuck in for the winter and they are very strategic about where they go. Their environment is usually dark, quiet, safe, and free of any distractions. So I want to encourage you to think about how you might recreate some of those same qualities in your own bedroom. So you may find that some ideas listed here, whether it's the earplugs that I know someone mentioned, a cooler temperature, or perhaps even some white noise. If your schedule requires you to work during the night and you have to sleep during the day, again, those darkening curtains or eye masks are perfect. So things like that can really help you drift off more quickly and sleep more soundly than you might normally. So again, I'd love to hear from anybody in the chat that's willing to share, but are there any suggestions that are listed here that you either already lean on or you might be willing to give a chance, or any other ideas that have worked for you in creating that cozy environment? If not, that's okay. You guys already mentioned, oh yeah, dark. Yes. Sound machine, keeping it dark. Oh yes. The dogs, yes. Yep, cool environment, no screens, fan, perfect. Oh yeah, cats. They love to snuggle, but they can be a disruption during the night. I get it. Like to make mittens. Oh, I never thought about that. Changing the paint color of your room to a more dark color to help create that. Oh, that's a really good idea. I like that. Thank you for sharing. Those were great. All right. And finally, I would like to share just a few tips for the days when you don't sleep well and just need that little extra boost because we've all been there. So, first things first, head to a window or get outside to even get a small amount of daylight, except if it's like raining or kind of dreary, that can make us feel a little more tired. But natural light does trigger the suppression of sleep hormones, which can help clear that morning fog feeling and let your body know that it's time to, be awake and stay awake. Another one is caffeine. Now, you do not have to eliminate it altogether, but just being mindful of when and how much coffee you drink is really important. So, having coffee with breakfast will give you a boost, but keep it to 1 or 2 cups because drinking too much caffeine could leave you feeling jittery, which, if you're a coffee drinker like myself, you've probably experienced those jitters. And it's also worth noting that caffeine takes around 8 hours to leave our system. So consider avoiding it by early afternoon so that way it doesn't disrupt your sleep too much. Or if you need to, I know someone mentioned decaf coffee. If you just crave the taste of coffee, have a cup of decaf in the afternoon too. Incorporating movement. I know it can feel counterintuitive, but light exercise will actually give you a little more energy. So if you're fighting to stay awake, take a short walk if you can, or stand up and do some activity in place, or even a quick flight of stairs, or if you have to run an errand, maybe park your car a little bit further and force yourself to walk in a little more. Because as we talked about earlier, the movement is also likely to help you sleep better later in the day as well. Another one is protein, and this is a big one because when we are more fatigued, it's common to want to reach for something sweet or carb rich or something that has a lot of sugar in it when we're in need of that boost. But something protein rich like a hard-boiled egg or some mixed nuts is more likely to keep you feeling more energized. And then finally, taking a power nap. There's nothing wrong with taking a nap, especially if you're really dragging and have that space in your schedule. So a short snooze of less than 30 minutes can be just the ticket to feeling more refreshed on days when you truly are lacking in sleep. Now, what about Omada? So, if you are eligible to enroll in Omada through your health benefits, you will be connected with a real human health coach like me. In fact, I could be your coach, and that would be really awesome. So, basically, think of Omada as just putting a health coach in your pocket to help you meet your health goals and then help you improve your eating habits. So, you'll learn about nutrition and healthy food swaps, how to control portions, and you will also have access to a lot of heart healthy recipes. And sleep is also a big topic that I talk about with my members all the time. We have a bunch of different guided audio exercises that we send to our members, energizing snack ideas. We also have just like a community group for people that want to join to talk about sleep. There's a whole bunch that we do for sleep. So that's a big topic that we also cover as well. And now I will hand it over to Kaylin.
No, thanks, Jamie. I've seen this presentation a couple different times, and there's just always some little takeaways and things that I know we probably all should be doing and maybe aren't. So thank you for those reminders as always. And like Jamie said, the Omada program is the example of the webinar here is just an example of kind of some different tips and tricks and ways that the Omada program might be of value to you. So like she said, if you are on the health plan through MHC and you are 18 years or older, you or any of your dependents that are also on the health plan and are 18 years of old or older may be eligible for the 2 plans that I'll talk about here. There's 3 plans that are actually offered through Omada. The first one that you see on the screen here is the prevention plan. So this is for folks that maybe have an elevated BMI, maybe have been told that they're pre-diabetic, are looking for some health tips and tricks, and like she said, that health coach in your pocket to really help be that person for you. That can be the accountability partner, asking questions, making sure that you're still on track, helping you set different goals and different things like that. So there is the Omada website right here, which is omadahealth.com/MHC, and you can apply and see if you're eligible for that prevention program. We do mail out the scale that is on the slide here. And all of this is run through your insurance. So it's at no cost to you, but you do get that scale that's Bluetooth connected. Every time you're stepping on that scale, your health coach can see your progress. It's all connected there. So the idea behind it is to keep it as simple as possible for you all to just kind of make those changes, have it all become the habits. I'm seeing people in the chat say that they love the scale. I've never worked anywhere where I thought a scale would be people's favorite thing about the program, but time and time again, when we take different surveys and look at things, the MHC team can agree with me here. It's always people, it's like, what's your favorite part about the Omada program? The scale. Who knew? Lots of other benefits with the program as well. So we do encourage you, if you think the prevention program is of interest to you, to apply to that. And the next slide digs into the next optional program. And this looks and feels very similar to the prevention program, but this is for people who have been diagnosed with diabetes. So if you do have an elevated BMI, you will still get that scale in the mail, as you see on the slide here. So for those of you who were worried that you may not get that, that is a part of the diabetes management program through Omada as well. But in addition to that scale and a health coach, you also get a diabetes specialist that's involved and can really understand your blood sugars when you're testing, and your coach and your diabetes specialist can work together and again, see all of your progress, the different things that you're doing within the app. And last but certainly not least, the different ways to track your blood sugar monitors are also mailed out to you. So there's the continuous glucose monitor, and this is something where we mail 2 of these out to you so that during different points in the program, you're able to wear that monitor and it'll continuously check your blood sugars. And also as an option, just the regular blood glucose monitor, which is the more manual way of tracking those sugars. And again, those are all Bluetooth devices that are connected. So every time you're checking your sugars, your coach and your specialist can see that progress, help work through maybe why your numbers are high, why they're low, celebrate with you when you're in range for several days, whatever that might look like there. So you do just have that accountability, that person to kind of help walk you through, have those conversations, better understand why things are happening within your body and what you can do to kind of help better regulate that and how we can support you through that. And then last but certainly not least is the Omada for joint and muscle health. So this program here, we often refer to it as our MSK program, and this is actually eligible to anyone 13 years or older that is a dependent in the program. So it could be for yourself, it could be for a spouse or significant other, or think about kind of sometimes those teenagers that are in sports and needing those additional ways to stretch, to work on things. Maybe they pulled a muscle, whatever that might look like. This program could potentially be for them as well. And this is really, so the other programs are the health coach in your pocket is how we reference that. And this is more the physical therapist in your pocket. So there's lots of different digital technologies that without kind of trying it yourself, it does sound a little bit crazy. I have tried it, but we are able to track things digitally, kind of how far you're able to stretch, range of motion, give you different tips and tricks for things that you can do on your own in between physical therapy sessions. There are live sessions where you can be on video with your coach and they're able to measure different things virtually as well. And if there are needs where maybe there is some value to in-person, we do see that every once in a while. We can refer out within your network and make sure that you're getting those in-person connections if possible as well. But it is nice to be able to just do things from home, and we do find a lot more physical therapy compliance because it takes a lot of time and effort, as we know, to stick with those appointments, go with them, take off work, find a sub, whatever that might look like for people. So this is just a much easier, convenient way to make sure that you're getting those sessions in as well. And with that last screen here, oops, which is updated on my end, but not yours, Jamie. So even if you maybe just tick back to the last slide, it'll just kind of keep up with that web page on the bottom here for people who are interested. You can see where it says apply at omadahealth.com/MHC for any of these programs. And if was there any questions that rolled in through the chat that I want to make sure we answer before we sign off here? Oh, people are loving the scale. That's so if I do see a question in the chat about someone that potentially was in Omada in the past and is interested in potentially rejoining or maybe needs their password reset, we do encourage people that if it's been a while since you've been in the Omada program to reach out, let us know. And we do evaluate it on a case-by-case basis. And typically if it's been a while, you've had some life changes. We hear a lot of times too that maybe people applied and it wasn't the right time and they weren't able to jump in and dedicate time. We're always interested in reevaluating that and making sure that the program's available to you as well. So there is a button to reach out to the support team if there's issues on signing up, or maybe you're having trouble logging in or whatever that might be. And if it's something that our support team can handle and move you forward, they do that. Otherwise, they reach out directly to me, and then I'm able to work with the MHC team to get that moving along as well. So just let us know if you're having issues with that. But it is the Omada support team that you're looking for there. And if there's any other questions that roll in or anything that I missed, feel free, Chris, to jump in too and fill in any gaps that I might have missed when explaining things too.
Yeah, I see a note from Corey who was having trouble signing in. Corey, if you reach out to whoever your co-op rep, depending on which co-op you're in, they can assist you with this.
Absolutely. Yep, they can loop me in as well.
So would I have to talk to my HR department to find out what co-op? I think we're Northwestern, but is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. If you-
Yeah, because I had it years ago, or I've had it for several years, and then I think it was right around shortly after COVID. I didn't stay on it, or I wasn't like doing the studies or whatever. I was being naughty anyways. So I've tried two different I've tried to reset my password. It doesn't send anything to my email. So it's like, it's gone.
And that does happen sometimes, Corey, where maybe it was an old email, whatever that might look like too. So just reach out to us. And my guess is that since it's been some time, reapplying might make the most sense and coming in that way. But our service team can help with that, or your co-op can kind of help with that too and loop us in so that we're sure that you're getting that. But we want to make sure
So
that
I should take off the like on my phone, take it, delete Omada and then try to re-sign in with it.
I'm guessing
Yeah,
that this is pre-COVID. We were probably on Blue Cross Blue Shield at that time, and we've changed carriers. We're now with Medica. So it may be that you have to redo the survey and reapply.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm just
I'd
going to take it
encourage you
out. I'm
to
going to take
even
the
use a
icon off
different
my
email.
phone.
Yeah.
And apply with that link here too.
So
Okay,
Corey,
I'll
it
try
looks like
that.
you're Northwest. I looked up, and so
Yep,
Chris has your email. She can reach out to you along with connecting with Kaylin, and they're amazing.
that'd be
team.
great.
They'll get you hooked up.
Yeah, because I did lose weight. I mean, I think I lost like 25, 30 pounds just kind of just talking with the coach and stuff. So it does work.
Yes, it does. Thank you for sharing. We also had another person that in the chat, how do I qualify? So there is that email, omadahealth.com/MHC. And then maybe when we send out the recording, we'll also include the QR code. So everybody's going to get the recording, and then we can send out the QR code too, if that's just as easy as the link. So we can put all that information in there.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for coming and attending. And if you are interested in seeing if you're eligible or looking at being interested in Omada, yeah, you can just head to that website there, and then we'll send the recording out soon here. So thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
And Jamie and Kaylin, looks like someone had a question about beds. So I don't know if whoever wants to pop off, you can, but you can definitely, if you had any opinions about that, if you want to chime in, go ahead.
Oh, Jamie, I don't know much about the different beds that they're talking about. I would imagine just personal comfort level is what we'd probably recommend. Am I off on that? Did you have more to add there, Jamie?
Yeah, no, I think you're definitely right. I do know I have worked with some members who have gotten actually a prescription from their doctor for specific types of beds that have really worked for them, and they've paid little to no money because it was prescribed by their doctor. So that's the only thing I have really seen. But yeah, no, I think you're right for that.
Great, thanks.